Так, секунду. Oh, hello, my dear friends. Today is a beautiful day to start the exclusive webinar on the talent visas and changes. Okay, let me see, guys. Let me see. All right, guys, a few minutes late. Thank you for waiting for me to start this exclusive webinar about the talent visa trends in 2025. And rest assured, you guys not gonna waste this time. You will be rewarded for the patience, and we're gonna start right now. All right, so before we begin, guys, please let me know where you are from and what is your profession, okay? That will help me a lot to show the real-time examples of the real cases attached to your country and your profession, okay? So please just give me that information. You will not regret. All right. So the more you give me the information to work with, the better value you will get from this webinar. All right. And I see Anton is from the Netherlands. Anton is an actor. Okay, very good. This is the art direction. So we work with a lot of actors. Arman, Iranian, living in Italy, marketing space. Very good. Very good. Marketing is very good for EB-1A, not as good for EB-2 NIW, and those are the visas we will be discussing today. Let's see, Tilu, hi Shamaev, hi Tilu, have a question regarding EB-1A, can we get EB-1A approved in IT? Absolutely, Tilu. About 40% of my practice is in IT. Cybersecurity, coders, quality assurance, artificial intelligence. And let me tell you, all of them are getting approved. Okay? So, in other words, if you are in IT and I evaluated your case, you will be approved. Okay, and once I saw the potential, and we worked on your case for 6 months with the team, improving it, make it stronger. Absolutely, absolutely. IT is a science direction, and those are the cases that I work on every day. Okay, let's see what else. Leticia, Italy, content creator. Yes, content creator is a marketing PR, basically. It could be art, it could be business, many cases in that direction. Marlon, Italy, Portuguese teacher. Guys, Italy is represented today. What's going on? Italy is really represented. I'm excited about that. We do have many clients from Italy. Not as many as I wanted. Portuguese teacher is education side. We have lots of teachers in general, a lot of English teachers, Japanese, Korean, some African languages teachers. So yeah, this direction is also represented. Peter, Czech Republic, finished IT high school this month. Good, Peter. That would be a lot of value for you to see where you need to go with your IT achievements and recognition to get that talent visa approved. Also, Isaac recently completed my master's degree in environmental management from Teesside University in the UK. I will be graduating this July with distinction. Good, sounds good. Get some experience, Isaac. That would be really good for NIW and for EB-1A. After 6 months, do you suggest premium processing for EB-1 or regular? Guys, not only I suggest premium processing, I require it. Okay? You basically have to go with the premium processing, like 98% of my clients do. Not only we can resolve some problems in the case while it's hot, because otherwise you got to be ready to go for another 15, 18 months, maybe more. But more importantly, we filed the case today up to the trend of the current USCIS policy. Because in a year and a half, that case is old. The policies changes, the law changes, the perception of the law changes. It's just an old case, guys. It's a yesterday's case. And yes, we're still getting approvals on that, but look, it's not what you're looking for. You're looking for to get an approval within 15 days. Okay, so absolutely, I require expedited processing for your case, and it gives you more chances of approval by my statistics. Okay, Vamshi, India software engineer, all my Indian clients, and I have a lot, 100% approval rate for my Indians. So Vamshi, stay tuned. Kevin, do you offer EB-3 jobs also, sir? No, absolutely no, absolutely not. Guys, I'm a strong believer that it's not even a gray area. It could be unethical and maybe even unlawful for an attorney to look for an employer for EB-3 purpose. So we're not doing this. We're not gonna jeopardize your petitions. So it's on you or your brokers to find a job for you, not on us, not on me. Okay, you already got approved to one of my colleagues from my previous company view. All right, guys, here's the lifetime evidence of our approval. Thank you for sharing, Tulu. All right, so let's get down to business, guys. And feel free to ask questions, okay? If something not clear is something like, Stanislav, what are you talking about? Can you repeat? Just don't be shy. This webinar, guys, is for you, okay? It's for you. I'm ready to give up $1,000 an hour that I make to give you value, okay? So make sure you guys use 1,500 of my not earned income to get the value out of it, all right? So ask questions, be engaged. And most importantly, guys, and I'm going to mention that in a second, get the free evaluation at the end and get the gifts that I'm going to give you today. All right, guys, I'm pumped. And you pump me. All right. I was born pumped, but you guys can always add to this. So stay engaged, stay focused, get the most out of this webinar. So what you will learn, guys, you will learn the insights from the ALA conference in South Korea, which I visited a few weeks ago. And you will learn about certain key changes that my colleagues shared. Cannot say that we didn't know about that, but it's always good to refresh. So you guys will learn that. Also, you will learn the criteria for EB-1A, EB-2 NIW, and O1 visas. And also we will put a lot of emphasis on O1 visa because, guys, all of you now or in the near future can qualify for O1. All right? And I'm saying this not because, I want to lure you or give you fake hopes. That comes from me knowing a little bit information about you and mostly coming from my experience of getting 99% chance of approval for O1. So if I told you, hey, Tilu, hey, Isaac, I see the potential in your O1 case, that translates to you to 99% chance of approval. All right? So stay tuned. Gabriela, is ALA some kind of annual US immigration conference? yes, ELA has a bunch of annual conferences, one in the US and one for each region in the world, like South America, Africa, Europe, Asia. So I went to the annual Asian conference in Seoul, in South Korea. By the way, guys, I really enjoyed Korea. It's, I went there without any expectations, and Korea kind of impressed me. I should tell you. So really good place for travel. I wouldn't stay there more than 7 days. I think 7 days is more than enough. But yeah. If you have a chance, go there. You will enjoy it. Don't go. Go for warmer period, April to October, because otherwise it's gonna be miserable. Okay, we're gonna talk about biggest mistakes that may get to the denial of the visas, and I'm not gonna spend like a lot of time on that, like explaining. I'm gonna incorporate those things in my webinar, and also we will talk how you can maximize your chances. All right, so how we're gonna go about the today's structure? First, I'm gonna give you the overview of my corporation. Then we're going to talk about the updates from ELA conference in South Korea. Then we're going to discuss 3 visas in a row, O1, EB-1A, EB-2 NIW. I will give you an overview of those visas, the advantages and disadvantages. Then you will learn, and this is critical, guys. This is critical. You will learn what free evaluation is, and that's one of the gifts I will be giving you today. And if you guys got to that point, and I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get to this point, this is a must, okay? Because otherwise it's going to be a waste. Otherwise you would waste this hour and a half, and I hate to waste anybody's time. And I hate when somebody wastes my time. So if you guys like me, you have to get that free evaluation. I'll explain how to get it a little bit later. And regardless, if you watch me on Livestorm, you guys get the privilege of getting your questions answered first and getting those gifts directly. If you watch Restream on Facebook, on YouTube, on other platforms, you guys get the second preference, just because we prefer those who register for webinar. Also, you will learn if you're eligible for those visas, and we'll be discussing the criteria for those visas. And at the end, the second gift, the checklist for high achievers. In combination with today's webinar information, you guys will be able to have a self-assessment. Let's call it this way, a self-assessment of your case. All right, so these are the 2 gifts, the free evaluation and the checklist. So please stay up till the end to get those gifts. So first things first, guys, let me establish my expertise, because I know some of you like, okay, Stanislav, just skip that part. We know that, and everybody knows, if you want to get approval for talent visa, you go to Shamayev. Okay, everybody knows it, and many attorneys know it, and people who are buying our services, right? And why we have that reputation in the field? And that's on the screen, guys. That speak volumes. Okay, I have, and the team, more than 13 years in American jurisprudence. The approval rate across all the visas, and we have a specialty, okay? The talent visas and the business visas. That's all we do all day, every day, guys, okay? That's all we do. Talent visas and business visas. I do not take asylum, deportation, family, M1, J1, you name it. I have very specific specialty in the industry, and we're laser focused on that. And not too many law firms are doing this. I don't know if any of them doing this, but I don't know any law firm, maybe you guys know, who does only that. Okay, usually immigration attorney, they do everything. We have more than 3,400 approvals. And actually more than 110 people working in my corporation. And everyone has only one goal in their mind. And that's the policy of the company, guys, to get you approved. That's all we want, get you approved. And we do everything to make that happen. And guys, I do believe that my company, my corporation, across all other American law firms is the most transparent. We don't hide our prices, we talk about our approvals, we talk about our denials. And by the way, guys, don't judge about me and my corporation by our approvals. Judge us by our denials because we have very few. Okay? But anyways, it's nice to know that we have a lot of approvals too. So that's the overview of what's going on with our corporation, and we're growing every day. Once you guys get approved with your petition working with my corporation, you are eligible to become a member of private exclusive business club. And let me tell you guys, the thing is that that club has the best people from all over the world. Okay? All of those members went through the same way that you did. And, you know, these 6 months may not be the happiest 6 months in your life, but once you get approval, it's all wiped and you're a happy camper. So everybody went through the same pains, and every single person is either extraordinary, a businessman, or an investor. And we have clients from over 50, probably 60 at this point, countries in the world. Okay? So imagine the expansion of your network once you get approval with us. It's immense. It's good for business. And this is less important, guys. Nobody cares about this. But just a few words about myself. I graduated with honors from Florida Atlantic University and St. Thomas School of Law, both American universities, and was the top student. I worked for state and federal agencies. I'm an active member of Florida Bar Association, Broward County Bar Association, and I'm eligible to practice law in Florida Courts of Appeals and 11th Federal Circuit. Our operation extends to more than 50 countries and 60 countries, and I myself visited more than 50 countries in the world. Guys, US is the best country. I'm not saying because I'm living here, because I saw it with my own eyes. And yes, it's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it's the best among what we have. And we got more than 3,400 approvals in the visas that we specialize in. All right, so let's talk, first of all, the key insights from the South Korea AILA conference, guys. And mind that not everything is gonna be readily clear to you unless you have some intermediate knowledge about talent visas. But stay tuned. At the end of the webinar, it all will come in one point and you will have a clear understanding. So first things first, and you guys know, and I will talk about this more, that O1 visa, the non-immigrant talent visa, which is kind of easy for me to get for anyone, as long as you at least can move. If you have two hands and 2 legs, and you have a little bit of brain, which you guys all have, you can get approval for O1, okay? Of course, you gotta be professional in your field. You gotta do something with your life. But yeah, you must have an employer. But you could be an employer to yourself. You may have your own company in the US, LLC, corporation, and we can help you to register it, right? And that company could sign your petition. So basically, you're signing your own petition for O1. That's one thing. We knew that all. We've been doing this for years. For years and years. There's nothing new. We actually mastered O1 for your own company throughout the years. But very important that you do not have to pay a salary to yourself on W2 if your company is your own employer. And maybe for some of you, like, what are you talking about, Stanislav? What's W2? What's that? So W2 form is basically filed with IRS when your employer pays you a wage or a salary. And when employer is paying the taxes out of that wage. So for the purpose of O1, it could be structured the way that you can get your income from that company through contracts or royalties. And this is something I've never done, but I'm willing to try, okay? I'm still thinking that W is the best way to go with O1 until we got you approved for EB-1A for the green card. But if the structure of your business kind of lines up for the royalties or some contractual obligations, we will do this. We will do this, okay? All right, this is the first thing. Now, and again, guys, like I said, it could be a little bit hard for you to get the update on the criteria that you never heard about. And some of you may be on that side of the barricades, like you just new to this. So that requires some background. But again, at the end, it will make more sense. Okay? So first things first, the awards. If your startup or your idea, innovation, technology, AI, IT, whatever that is, got venture investment or angel investors, that could be an award not only for the purpose for EB-1A, but also for the purpose of O1. Okay? And same way for the salary. The VC angel investment to your startup, or if you have the equity, or you have the options contract, that also could be significantly higher remuneration. Not the salary, but remuneration, okay? Because the law gives you the option how to get that, all right? And those are kind of alternative ways to satisfy these criteria. And the classic ways, like I said, we're gonna talk about later. Associations, guys. If you were accepted to accelerator or incubator that has a distinguished reputation, you know, the organization that leads it is famous, the investors who are famous are a part of it, if there's a coverage in the press, if they have a lot of successful projects, that gives them all that, gives them the reputation. So if you were accepted in things like that, we could use it as the professional association for the purpose of a talent visa. Okay? Also alternative way. Further, the press. Of course, we want to have the press coverage of you and your projects, but if the press covers your company, your startup, your idea, your project, your patent, some other achievement, even without calling your name, but we can directly connect the two, that will satisfy the criteria of the law. Okay? And more to this a little bit later also. Judging the work of other professionals, guys. If you are in STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, IT, engineers, doctors, scientists, and all this good stuff. If you assess the other projects, the product from the technical standpoint, that could be alternative to the judging. And why is it important? Because you guys think to satisfy the judging the work of other professionals, the only way to do this is to participate in the competition as a judge. But that's not true. It's the classic way, it's the original way, but it's definitely not the main way. And actually judging the work of other professionals is usually satisfied by alternative means. For example, code review. Right? And tell me, guys, let's see. Tilu is an IT, Peter is an IT. Let me see. Tell me, guys, Vamshi, you do the code review on a daily basis. And other IT specialists also reviewing your code. This is the nature of your profession. So if you do that, you satisfy the judging of the work of other professionals, right? So you didn't know that, now you know. It's like, wow, right off the bat, I see some things happening around my case. Okay, and the last thing, guys, I kind of disagree. And again, this is the AILA conference update, right? I'm not saying that we are using all of these or we will incorporate. That's the experience of other attorneys in the field. And with this, I disagree the most. The publications. So the colleagues of opinion that your publications in Forbes, TechCrunch, and other famous IT or business media may be used instead of the academic articles. And by law, that's true. But guys, on the battlefield, this doesn't work. Okay? And I agree they could be used to supplement, or maybe they will fly for O1 visa, but for EB-1A, I want academic articles. And we know how to do them. Okay? We have vendors for the press articles for you, PR agencies that you will work with. We have vendors for the scientific publications. We have PR agencies who will help you with judging, some with associations. So as long as you have 2-3 criteria to start your case, the rest could be improved on. Okay? So that's the overview of AILA conference, and that's the short version. Of course, there's more, but yeah. And another thing, and that's kind of aligns with my approach to my work. Guys, I'm all about statistics. I love statistics. It's just, it helps immensely to understand what's going on in the field. And EB-2 NIW denial rate is rising sharply. And why is this happening? For one simple reason. Because more cases are filed. And the more cases are filed, the more immigration officer can compare one case to another. So the case that could have been deemed strong 4 years ago, 5 years ago, is not strong anymore, because there are stronger cases, and that's just the nature. It's just statistics. The more cases are filed, the more proportion of the stronger cases. And of course, officers, they see a lot of cases every day. They have the subjective perception. So same for EB-1A, guys. Same thing. Just think about it. Guys, think about it for a second. In 2010, there were 2,500 cases filed in EB-1A category. 2,500. In 2024, guess it, above 30,000 cases. Crazy. They added the zero and more to this. That's a lot. Of course, the proportionally more approvals are there, but the percentage of approval drops. In 2010, 70 to 80% of EB-1As were approved. In 2024, only 45% of the cases were approved. And by the way, guys, we hold our chances of approval on 90% and more, even with these changes. Okay? So that's what separates us from everybody else. Okay, so we're gonna go to O1. Let me see. Anton, can different artistic talent skills, university degrees, and business ventures add up, or do you need to go specifically for one? Different artistic talent skills. Anton, I don't really understand the question, so I guess you're asking whether. Let me respond to the question that I think you're asking. So we wanna focus on recognition and achievement. Education is not important for the purpose of O1 EB-1A. Okay, that's not what we want. We want the criteria. We want the criteria, and I will explain later. Maybe it will be clearer to you what exactly going on. But yeah, different ventures is not what we're looking for. It could be, but we're looking for actually your achievements in your career. Specific business, specific talents, plus scientific publications. They all gotta be in the same field, Anton. Okay, so you already mentioned you're an actor, so your fields could be either art or business, because some actors, they build their career around working with other actors, like business with actors, right? But if you're just acting, and that you in art, so your scientific publication should be in art. Okay, if it's business, then it's in business. Okay, Kelly, how many do we have to pay to open such a company to be able to sign for ourselves, and how much does it cost each year to maintain it? Good question, Kelly. The price will depend on the state and the type of the company and what exactly you need, because there's a minimum thing and there's a maximum thing. So to give you the average price for the company that's properly set up with all the fees and the corporate work and things like that, that's going to be around $3,000 if you work with us. And I'll tell you that it's above the market price. I can tell you right now. You can find it cheaper, but I don't know about the quality of the work, because we have the highest premium quality of those things, especially corporate documentation, which is very important. And to maintain, you just pay the fee, about a couple of $100 to the state, and that's it. Okay, guys, let's move on. So first, I'm going to give you the overview of the visas, and then we're going to be talking about the criteria. So what are the advantages of O1 visa? Well, first of all, guys, there is no quota. There is no limitation. Why are we talking about limitations? Because H1B, for example, has the limitation, and it has the lottery. All right, you guys know that just a few months ago in March there was a H1B lottery. Somebody was selected, somebody was not selected, so there is some limitation. O1 has no limit. As many approved, as many will get it. Okay, so this is really good. Number 2, O1 is an ideal visa to jump on EB-1A train or sometimes EB-2 NIW, depending how you develop your case, your career in the US. So it's just a beautiful trampoline, the foundation for the next move to the green card. Further, it's the fastest way to come to the US. Okay? Because preparation takes about 6 months, and I usually allocate about 2 to 3 months for the embassy interview. And for people from India like Vamshi, right? It's the best way to come to the US because again, H1B is not for everybody and O1 is for everybody. And because Indians have the long wait for the priority date for visa bulletin, then O1 is the best option unless we don't have H1B. Also, O1 is good for any field. So all your profession guys that you mentioned, Anton, actor is O1B, Arman, marketing space could be O1B or O1A, IT, O1, sure, content creator, O1A or O1B, teaching is O1A, IT, O1A, environmental management, O1A. So all of you guys, all of you, your profession will fall within O1 without exception. Okay, let's move on. Of course, it depends on the number of documents and criteria. We're going to discuss that. It requires only 3 criteria out of 6 O1B or out of the 8 O1A. O1B 6, O1A 8. But I want 4 criteria at the very least for O1B and 5 criteria for O1A. And trust me, we always get to that goal, sometimes above. And very important, it's much easier. There's no way to comprehend how much easier it to get as opposed to EB-1A. EB-1A is here. O1A is here. Much less burden of approval. And of course, excellent entry point for all of you guys. And because you can become your own employer, that's a perfect visa for you. It's given for 3 years. O1 is for 3 years. Could be extended. It's 1 year extension indefinitely. Sometimes it's possible to get 3 years extension, but it's because it's not common for 3 years, we're going to be talking about 1 year extension. But guys, for 10 years of my experience, of my practice in this field, I extended maybe I can count on the fingers on my one hand. And I got hundreds upon hundreds of O1s approved. Why? Because all of you get approval for EB-1A or EB-2 NIW within the 3 years that's allocated for your O1. That's it. That's easy as that. There's only one. Okay, who can come with your O1 visa? You, your spouse, and the kids below 21 years old who are not married. Kids can go to school, and the biggest disadvantage is that your spouse cannot work. Okay? But just like H1B, H4 status for the spouse does not allow you to work. So I think this is the biggest disadvantage of O1 visa, that the spouse cannot work. But for some of you, it's not a biggie. I know for sure. Okay, let's see the questions. Tilu, how much cost for processing EB-1A? Tilu, I'm not sure what you're asking. The cost, because the cost could be the question to the government fee and associated cost, or you're asking about the whole process. And usually I talk about the prices closer to the end of the webinar, but I can give you the basic understanding. O1, you guys can get my fees, my corporation's fees for O1 is the bottom line is 11,000. So starting 11,000, you can get your O1 approved. EB-1A and EB-2 NIW 13,000. Okay, those are the attorney's fees. We have the packages, more expensive packages for those of you who are really busy with your lives and careers. And those more expensive packages, they just delegate the work that you should do to the team. Okay, the team does the work for you basically. So it's not about the success rate, it's not about how much evidence we're gonna get, it's about how much you're gonna work on your case. Okay, but the bottom line, 11 and 13,000. These are not all the costs because you have PR agencies cost. An average case for EB-1A is $5,000 to $7,000. For O1 a little bit less, maybe $3,000 to $5,000 working on with the PR agencies to improve your case. The cost of the government fee is about $3,800, and the cost of a translation, if you're not from English-speaking country, is about $2,000 to $3,000. So if you go by the lowest costs, you can get your EB-1A for about under $20,000 from beginning till the end. And those costs are spread within 6 months. It's not one-time payment. Of course, it could be 30,000 or even more, depending how strong your case is and what package you choose, but the bottom line is about 20K. Okay, and guys, remember I told you we're the most transparent company. We don't hold anything back. If we say so, it is so. Okay, understand that's a lot of money, but hey guys, you're changing the life not only for yourself, but for all generations ahead. So it's not a cost, it's an investment. Okay, Vamshi, can an H-1B visa holder form an LLC to bootstrap a startup and let it transition to O1A visa? Absolutely, Vamshi, that happens a lot with my Indian clients. If you don't have EB-2 or EB-3 approved with your employer, which is also very often the case, and your H-1B is running out, of course, we're going to switch you to O1 and get you and file EB-1A after that. Should they incorporate while on H-1B? Yeah, it's totally legal, no problem. How to avoid violating H-1B rules? It's not a violation to form a company. It's a violation to work in it, but to form, it's not a violation. What activities are allowed? Anything but working in it. Is open source software required for H-1B compliance? No, it's irrelevant. How can contributions to the LLC be shown for an O1 visa without direct work? Not clear on this question. We don't need to show the contribution in LLC for the purpose of O1. That's not the part of the law. Can we file O1 while on H1B? Absolutely. Okay, so guys, not gonna spend a lot of time on what EB-1A is and what EB-2 NIW is conceptually. I'm just gonna explain it to you like you're 6-year-old, okay, or maybe 9-year-old. So any visa that starts with 2 letters, EB, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, EB5. Five categories, and there's a bunch of subcategories in each category. Although they all called visas, in fact, they are green cards. The residency in the US, which is given to you, your spouse, and your kids below 21 years old who are not married. And that residency is given for 10 years. And in 5 years after you got your green card, if you follow simple rules, you will be able to file for US passport. Okay? That's what it is. It's very simple. Of course, with the green card, you can work anywhere you want. You can travel anywhere you want. You can come in, you can get out. You are an American. There's no limitations on you. Only 6 months presence within a year. 6 months total, not uninterrupted, but total. 2 months here, 2 months there, 1 month there. So within a year, you gotta live 180 days plus a couple of days just in case. So that's all what it is, and that's the best thing ever, right? All right. So EB-2 NIW is the same concept. It's also a green card. Yes, it has different criteria how to get it. The only, two biggest differences, guys, conceptually between EB-1A and EB-2 NIW. First of all, EB-1A yet is current in the visa bulletin, besides India-born people. That one has a backlog. But for the rest of the world, and I think China is also the second country, but for the rest of the world, once you get approval for EB-1A in 6 months working with my corporation, within the next 9 months, you will be having an interview with the embassy and getting your immigrant visas. So the whole process is a year and 3 months. I like to say a year and a half, because here and there you forgot, you procrastinated, and it's a year and a half from start till finish. EB-2 NIW has almost 2 years wait as of today after the approval. Okay, so that could be 3 years, 2.5, 3 years total of your immigrant journey, which is a lot more. So if I qualified you both for EB-1A and EB-2 NIW, guess what? We're going with EB-1A because it's faster. And for the second reason, it's less subjective. EB-1A is less subjective than EB-2 NIW. EB-2 NIW is so subjective, guys, you have no idea. Each criterion has the subjective review of the officer. Then the whole case has the subjective review by law, not by because they're naughty and they want to give us trouble. No, it's in the law. And by the way, even if we satisfied all criteria and everything is great by law, the officer still has the power to deny. So it's all subjective. They have a lot of power. And we have no judicial review of EB-2 NIW if it's denied on the criterion of national interest. And let me tell you guys, national interest criterion is number one, like 90% denials are on this. Among those that are there, 90% of them are based on national interest. So this is very subjective, very subjective. We're still getting them approved. Sometimes they have no option for EB-1A, so we have to go with them. But I will choose EB-1A over EB-2 NIW all day, every day, twice on Sunday. So same thing, spouse, your kids getting the 10-year green card. Both of them do not require an employer. And guys, this what stand them out, because all other EB visas require an employer. EB-1A and EB-2 NIW do not. Okay, so this is great. Means everything under our control. We don't have to depend on Uncle Sam or whoever that person is who's your employer, because today your employer, tomorrow they fired you. So that's no good. Okay, let me guys get you the first present right out of the way. And I know we did not talk about the criteria yet, but it's not a requirement for this free evaluation. I will get back to the free evaluation in half an hour once we're done with the criteria, but at least scan the QR code, and also the moderator is gonna drop you the links to the free evaluation for O1, EB-1A, and EB-2 NIW. So you must fill out those questionnaires, okay? And look at the beautiful face of this person on the slide. Those eyes don't lie. If I see the potential in your petition, in your facts, you guys have the green light to proceed with your case to the second step, which is complex immigration planning. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but at least start this thing now, okay? And once we go through the criteria, things will make even more sense to you. And Gabriela loved those eyes too. So yeah. All right. So the criteria, guys, that's the juice. That's what you came here for today, to understand the criteria for O1, EB-1A, and EB-2 NIW. Okay. So yes, there are 10 criteria for EB-1A. There are 8 for O1A, and there are 6 for O1B. But because we don't have all this time, guys, I would love to spend 5 hours with you. We don't have that time, and you will be exhausted. So I compiled the 8 criteria that kind of fit everyone, okay? Just for the sake of time and ease of understanding, because in itself, not only it's very complicated stuff, but it's pretty boring. So I hope I entertain you a little bit, guys, and I hope you appreciate that. That takes a lot of my energy. So give me the thumbs up in the comment section if you guys think I give you a little bit of entertainment sometimes. That give me a little boost. So how are we gonna go about this? I'm gonna go criterion after criterion and explain what exactly that means. And I'll give you the classic standard way and also alternative way for each criterion. Once we're through all the criteria, I will give you the recipe of an average O1 and EB-1A case. And you guys must crave for this information, because no one is doing this. No attorney ever told you what exactly it takes, how many of what to get an approval. Only I'm doing this. Because why? We're the most transparent. We want you to build that rapport and credibility with you guys, because that's very important for us. Okay, so the first criterion is awards. Of course, the classic way is if you participate in a national competition or international and you get a prize, first, second, or third place, or whatever, how many prizes they have. That's the classic way. However, there are a bunch of alternative ways. Your doctoral dissertation could be a prize. Your venture capital or angel investment could be the prize. Your participation in conference, and guys, this is very important because not everybody knows about this. If you participate in a conference and you deliver a paper, and that paper is then published, this is an award for the purpose of talent visa. Okay, very important. Also, grants and scholarships could be an award. Government awards also could be an award. Those are the main alternative ways. How do we prove all that? A letter from organizers of all those things. Okay? All people who are in charge. At least one award is good. Media coverage about you. So media is very expensive criterion. It could be press, could be TV, could be radio, could be documentaries. It could be many things. But usually those are articles in the press and press online. We don't really see the paper press anymore. That's in the past. So press online, guys, the websites. So two types of press: major or professional. Major means a lot of people in this country, particular country, reads this website by the total visitors a month. You'll be like, Stanislav, how many people should visit the websites? I would say it's not the only metrics, but 15% of the total population of the country is a good start. Okay? So if it's a 100 million population country, 15%, 15 million unique visitors a month is a good indicator of a major press. And I understand India, like China, is a little different, a lot of people. In India.com, India Daily, those are good major example of major press. Professional means that people from industry are the ones reading. I'm not going to read it, Gabrielle is not going to read it, Armen is not going to read it, but someone from that industry is going to read it, right? Doesn't matter how many people visit it. So two types of press. Now, the article itself, guys, must have 4 things. All of them. The title, usually no problem. The date, usually not problem, sometimes date is missing. Where the real problem is, who is the author, the journalist of that article. Okay? So that one is number one reason why article doesn't fit, because there is no name of the journalist. So make sure you have it. And number 4, it must be about you or your work. Of course, when you guys work with our independent PR agencies, those things are taken care of. Okay, they take care of that totally, and because I approve all those things. And but if you work with someone else, make sure all those things are there. How many articles do we need? I would say up to 3 for O1, 4 plus for EB-1A. So 3 for O1, 3 plus, 4 plus for EB-1A. Academic articles. And we kind of touched on that in the beginning. Guys, don't worry about your expert publications, expert articles in the press. They're not gonna fly unless it's O1 visa. There we could deal with that. For EB-1A, we're gonna do the academic articles. And they must be in indexed and peer-reviewed journals. Again, if you work with our independent vendors, they will help you with the whole process. If you work on your own, or if you do it by yourself, make sure that those journals are indexed and peer-reviewed. Otherwise, you're going to waste your time. How many articles? I would say 3 also for O1, 4 for EB-1A. Judging the work of other professionals. The classic way, you're a judge at the competition and you assess other professionals, but code review, architecture review, audits of the business processes, of technical part, of anything in the project, the performance review of your employees who are also professionals, be a part of the committee that selects whatever, sorting out the people to speak at the conferences, being on editorial board of press articles or academic articles all could be the judging the work of other professionals. Also, if you peer review academic articles, it's also judging the work of others. Okay, so judging, guys, everybody has it. I don't file petitions without judging. They're always there. Okay, so that one is present with all of you. Contribution in the industry, and this one is okay. Moderator, please mark your notes. We need to change the presentation from to the industry to in the industry. Okay, so please make a change in the presentation, because this is wrong, guys. It's not to the industry. It's contribution in the industry. And for those of you, and by the way, this is very important to understand the distinction, because a lot of immigration officers, when they send an RFE, request for evidence, they say you did not do contribution to the industry. It's not to the industry, it's in the industry. And for those of you whose English the first language, you immediately understand the shade of difference between to and in. If English is your second like mine, that needs some explanation. If it's a contribution to the industry, that means you change the industry as a whole. If it's in the industry, you changed certain part of the industry. So this is a matter of the scale, and the law requires only in the industry. So if you got an RFE and the officer is like, hey, no contribution to the industry, your response should be, dear immigration officer, it's not the requirement by the law. The law requires in the industry. That drops the burden of proof significantly. So your contribution must be original and significant. Original is easy. It's new. It's never been done like that. Okay? And it shouldn't be totally new. And small changes could be also make it innovative. But most importantly is significant contribution in the industry. Okay? What could be an example? A book, a patent, technology, algorithm, open source, courses, the new approach to the business, new processes, application, the website that changed something. So your speaking at the conferences cumulatively could be contribution in the industry. Your projects cumulatively could be contribution in the industry. New solutions to old problems could be contribution. So there is a lot. There is a lot here. It's very hard to prove this criterion, but if you guys, if and when you work with my corporation, we have the program NEO. NEO project in my corporation means that we find you the match in your profession among other clients in the same industry, IT, business, marketing, artist, and we have 300 clients, guys, doing the cases at the same time. 300 people as we speak work with us at this moment. So of course we have most of the professions, most of the common professions. So we find you the match and you guys exchange independent expert opinion letters on your both cases, cross expert opinions. And they are very important pieces of evidence. And through those letters, we always prove the contribution in the industry. Okay? So that's another benefit of working with our company, because no one is doing this. And the cost of this letter outside could be $1,500 to $1,000. Okay, you get that benefit for free. Okay, leadership role, critical leading role. That's the name of that criterion in a company with distinguished reputation. So it could be in the past, it could be today. So you must either play an important function in a company, or you control and direct the people. Critical and leading, respectively. Now, we have to prove the reputation of the company that you work for. And reputation could be proven in many, many ways. Of course, the size of the company matters, what they do, national, international, local, press coverage, awards, the government, thank you letters and things like that. But most importantly, who are the clients? Of course, if you work in Apple, Google, we don't care. It's high reputation initially. But if it's a smaller company, but the clients are those big companies, that could be served the proof of the reputation. So I need 2 roles in your career at the minimum or more. Okay, 1 contribution I didn't mention. 1 is sometimes there's 0, so 1 is good enough. And judging, very hard to say how many, because a lot of time we use concepts. Like code review is not one-time thing, it's your career, right? So 1-2 concepts or 1-2 competitions is good enough. Commercial success is pretty easy, but guys, listen attentively. Listen attentively. Your salary must be 20 to 30% more than the average salary of the professional in your field in your geographical location. Okay? So you take the government statistics on your profession in your city, and you see if your salary is at least 20 to 30% more. If it is, that's it. Bingo. We satisfy this criterion. You have to pay taxes. We have to show the taxes. Okay? That's easy. Also, sometimes big contracts, hourly pay could be used here too. And last but not least, professional associations. This is a rare criterion unless you are in STEM or in business, which most of you are. Like 90% of you are in STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or business. So there must be the charter to that association that talks about outstanding achievements to become a member, and people who accept new members must be expert of a national level. Okay, it should be a letter as well. Okay, let me see. Kelly does an actor with only 1 movie on IMDb and 3 years of theater have any chance of getting O1A and work as an actor in America? Absolutely, Kelly. Absolutely. It could be even EB-1A. So without even more, I can tell you definitely O1B. Or maybe even EB-1A, depending on how good that movie was. Now, guys, as I promised, the recipe for O1 and EB-1A, 5 and 6 criteria. So O1, and an average, of course, each case is individual. I don't do cases by template, but for O1, 3 press articles, 3 academic articles, 2 critical roles, your income, and 2 judgings. 2 judging the work of other professionals. Okay, that's 5 criteria, that's it. And as long as you have salary and critical role, everything else could be done. Okay, working on the petition for 6 months. The EB-1A is 4 press articles, 4 academic articles, 2 judging the work of other professionals, 1 contribution, 3 critical roles, and your income. Of course, you can substitute awards and associations, but that would be an average case. Good stuff, guys! You love it. Guys, you love it. Okay, so let's move on to EB-2 NIW. We're moving good. And yeah, you can still drop the questions, guys, on EB-1A if you still want to clarify certain things. Let me see, Vamshi. Can we identify SOC codes for related fields that meet commercial success criteria, given the interchangeable nature of the role? Vamshi, you don't need that. You don't need that. SOC is, we use them. We use them in a petition. Don't worry about that. That's not your task. That's my task. We're gonna find out the best thing for you. Oh, by the way, guys, while I'm answering the questions, let me go back to the free evaluation, because now you know better about the criteria for EB-1A01. So now is a good timing with that understanding to do the free evaluation. So start filling up the questionnaire. And also Vladimir sent you the link in the chat. So either QR code or use the link. Okay. So let me see other questions. Tilu, how many criteria do we need to satisfy for EB1 to get approved? Tilu, I guess you went to grab some tea because I've already mentioned that. So I will repeat, no problem. We need 6. By law, it's 3. It's 3. But my recipe is 6 or more. Okay, so yes, 6 criteria. As long as you have 3 right now after the free evaluation, I tell you, hey, we have 3. That's a green light for you, because we can get you 3 or 4 more for the next 6 months working with the team, with my methodology, with my processes. Kelly, thank you. I have to talk to you. Can I send you an email? Absolutely. I think there is an email at the end of this presentation, so wait till the end. Tilo. We also have WhatsApp, guys. You don't need to use old technology. Send me a WhatsApp message. I'll give you the contacts at the end. Kelly, I'm asking for your email address to find out how much the consultation cost, and it's for wait a second. It's 400, guys. You don't need to ask me an email. My consultation is free. It's a free evaluation. It's free, guys. You don't need to pay nothing. I will tell you exactly if you have the case or you don't. But if you want the strategy of your case, the written strategy, that's not a consultation anymore. It's almost the first step of your case. It's called complex immigration planning, and it has 2 phases. First, a data manager collects the information from you. Then I create the written strategy of your case, the breakdown to the T of your case. That's different. That's the basically beginning of your case, and that 400 becomes a part of your contract. So you don't waste it. It's then the part of your. It's accredited to your contract. Okay. You guys don't need to. You can ask me any question here. We don't hold anything back. Tilu Hashamayev, my friend, is also interested in EB1A process. I will ask him to contact. Absolutely, guys, spread the good word. We are the leaders in this field, as our clients say. Okay, by the words of our clients. Guys, go on Google review and see the reviews from our clients. You'll be shocked. You will be shocked what our clients talk about us. They love us. They love the process. They love the teams. They love the projects. We are the best. Okay. And Tilu, how to get started? Tilu, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you. I appreciate your questions, but the free evaluation is your first step. So that's. Send the link to your people. The link is right below your question. Okay, and we do not have the referrals per se. It's illegal for attorneys to pay someone to bring the clients, but we have the marketing fee. Okay, because we know how much it costs to us to bring a client to the company, so we're ready to pay you that marketing fee. Okay. All right, so guys, the criteria for EB-2 NIW, and it's a little bit different than EB-1A, because for EB-1A, we can pick and choose which criteria we need to use, but for NIW, we have to satisfy all criteria, okay? So we have those criteria on the screen. It's actually 3, but the first 2 is a combination of, it's an alternative for the first criteria. It's the education. so bachelor's and 5 years of experience, or master's degree, or if no degree, exceptional ability. There are 7 criteria. We need to satisfy 3. They're similar to EB-1A, but lighter burden of proof. Okay, so that's the first criterion. The second one, we need to suggest the idea of the project or endeavor to the US government that's important to the US government. Okay, what does it actually mean? Well, there is a problem. We provide a solution for this problem, and it's important that this problem is being resolved. Okay, that's the simplest way to understand. For example, just yesterday, guys, got an approval for EB-2 NIW for my client from Belarus. I believe he's from Belarus or Ukraine, one of those countries. And his endeavor was to import the small size pickup trucks and tractors from the Japan to help the US farmers with their work. Okay, because we have big equipment. Not everybody needs the big tractor. They need the small one to do whatever they need. So that helps with the logistics and helping the smaller farmers to grow to bigger size. So what's the problem here? The lack of good, cheap, reliable equipment and the less opportunities to grow for smaller farmers. Is the solution of this problem important to the US government? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! I would say, right? Of course, US government wants those things to grow. The farmers, more food, cheaper food, better for the consumers, better for the citizens. Okay? And by the way, guys, this guy worked with another attorney who got him denied on this case. We got him approved. And I talked to him, and his name is Michael. And he told me, Stanislav, now I know what it actually takes to get the case approved. And I heard the bitterness in his voice too, happiness and bitterness, because happy because he got approved, but bitterness, he knows how much work that is. Okay? But what you guys would choose? A lot of work and approval, or no work and denial? And this is a rhetorical question. Okay? So yeah. My favorite project, guys, in my career, and it's my best case, I love it, is the hotel for the cows. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So, nobody knows that cows actually need hotels, okay? So we got an approval for this case a couple of months ago. I love this case. I love it. I always make an example of it because it's so much fun. Okay, and the third criterion is the relevant experience. Okay? Relevant experience. So you've done something similar in the past, which will prove that you will be able to implement the idea that you offer to the US government. Okay, so education or exceptional ability, the idea of the project in the national interest of the US government, and relevant experience. So 3 criteria, all of them we have to prove. Okay, so that's basically the basic nutshell understanding of EB-2 NIW. Like I told you guys, it's if I qualify you for both, we're going with EB-1A, okay? Because it's just the way to go. And Vladimir was kind enough to send us the link to contact us through WhatsApp. If you guys want to contact me directly through WhatsApp, you just can click on the link in the comment section. All right, time for the second present. So the guide for self-assessment, guys, scan the QR code, or Vladimir will send you a link to the document, make sure you download it right now. Okay? You download it right now because within 24 hours, it's going to be closed. Okay? So don't waste your time. Make a screenshot of QR code and use another device or use the link. Okay. So guys, let's take a few more questions. I will take a few more questions from you if you have any. Let me see my schedule. I have more meetings today. Yeah, I have like a back-to-back clients meeting, so I have 5 more minutes with you. Make sure, guys, that at very least you follow us on YouTube, Instagram. I have Telegram channel, Facebook, Twitter. You can just screenshot, follow us on all of that. We do not repeat the content. It's all exclusive. So if you see something on Instagram, it's not on YouTube. If you see something on Telegram, it's not on Twitter. Okay, so all of them have different ways of posting the account. But guys, please, this is most important. If you really appreciate and value your time, and you want to understand the potential in your case, do the free evaluation. Do for both visas, for talent, for NIW, no problem. Look for the word potential. Not all of you will see the word potential in your analysis. But if you do, your next step is complex immigration planning. I will develop your written strategy, your winning written strategy. You will receive it after the procedure, also with a list of documents for your priority visa. And your third step is hiring my team and myself for the complete case filing. So your immigration to the US is easy as 1, 2, 3. Free evaluation, complex immigration planning, and the complete case filing. Kelly, the WhatsApp link is above your question. It's in the link. It's not the number. You click on the link and it gets you directly to WhatsApp. Okay? And that's the technology. Okay? So, and there's an email for those of you guys who want to write an email. No problem. No problem. Email, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram. If you send me the Dove with the letter, we'll receive it. So no problem with that. Okay, let me see. Let me see the last questions. Question from YouTube. Guven, as an aviation safety professional, yes, sounds like green card to me immediately. We just, Guven, even without reading your question, it's gonna be EB-1A. It's not gonna be an NIW, and I'm gonna get you approved. I just got approval for the talented pilot whose specialization was safety from Kazakhstan. Okay? So there you go, guys. Talented pilot. Who knew? No one. But we're getting those approvals. Okay, let's see. What's the best way to prove my work meets the national interest requirement? Like I said, I knew it's going there. Guven, it's probably going to be EB-1A. Okay, so screenshot the QR code, fill out the questionnaire. It could be NIW, it could be, but it's much harder. Okay, should I focus on patents, recommendation letters, or publications? All of that should be focused on. I got here last month with an O1 on O1. Congratulations. When I looked at my case to provide a possible EB-1 strategy. Absolutely, Veris. There you go. The QR code on the screen. Use your phone to start your process. Okay, guys. Give me one more question. Let me see the question section, because you were sending. I can have the presentation later. Later, no, guys, we don't record this, so no. How many do we have to pay to open such company? Okay, I saw that question. Whom to contact to get started with EB-1A? Should I schedule a call with you? You're probably busy with the kids or something. Yeah, your journey starts with the QR code on the screen. So screenshot it or go with your phone and start your process from there. All right, guys, it was nice talking to you. I'm waiting for your applications for the free evaluation. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. My name is Stanislav Shamayev. I'm a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.